Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Are you ready to start living your life to the fullest? Are you ready and willing to transform yourself and your life from ordinary to extraordinary? Excellent. Let's get to it, my friends. Welcome to the Fully Engaged Life. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today's topic is going to address a sense of self, but within a relationship. And by relationship, I'm referring to a romantic relationship, kind of the man and woman together thing. Not a substitute for your friend or family member or your dog. Okay? I'm referring to that one special person that you are sharing your life with. Now, as many of you may know, my wife and I have written a book on this topic, but with as quickly as things are changing in the world, we had to go back and revise the book before we even got it published. So we're still working on it. It's coming out. I've also done a number of articles that you can find on my website, www.expansionmastery.com, as well as a few podcasts on the subject. I want to take a look at a different way of viewing this today. And the incident that sparked this topic was, my wife and I were recently in Turkey. There was a point where one of our guides asked if he could say something to me, and I said, yeah, sure, of course. And he said, I really appreciate the relationship you guys have. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean by that? And he said, just the openness of affection you have. He said, this is something I rarely see. You guys hold hands, you sit tight together, you kiss, you just show affection spontaneously whenever it arises. It doesn't matter where you're at. And he went on to explain that he was on his second marriage and that he felt it could be going better. And one of the primary problems was that he was unable to show affection, especially in public. And he was saying that, it was his conditioning for where he lives to do that. And that is part of the conditioning for men in a lot of countries. It was fantastic. He was able to recognize that, so he can identify the problem. But then he dismissed it as saying, well, that's just how I was brought up. That's the way I am, and this is the way things are, so I can't do that. And he could. It's possible if he decided to make the effort to break the conditioning. But I went on to explain to him, I said, this is just how my wife and I are. We never do this on purpose in front of anybody. We never do it out of obligation. We don't do it because we sat and discussed this is how we want to be with one another. It just came about. It's just how we are all the time. And when your heart is so filled with love and appreciation and respect for another person, you can't keep it in. The energy from that has to come out in some form. And that form is usually by holding the person's hand, giving them a hug, kissing them, holding them, sitting tight against them, joking around and teasing with them, all of these things. And it just naturally flows. However, I find that one of the keys to this is that it must be that you are with the right person in order for this to happen. I was in a previous marriage and I didn't want to do any of those things. One of the main things that comes to mind is, fun little pet names, or even just referring to the person you're with as honey or sweetheart or whatever, something like that. In my first marriage, I could never bring myself to actually say anything like that. And it was because I didn't feel it. And I knew this. I was aware of it. And with the relationship I'm in now, with my incredibly wonderful wife, it just comes out. I can't help myself. And it really illustrated an incredible difference and the importance of being with the right person to me. And recently, my wife and I were sitting and talking about this subject. So some of the things I'm going to share today are things that came up through our discussions. So some of the credit goes to her for this content. One of the things that happens when you are with the right person, not just a person, but the right person. And what do I mean by that? I mean basically what would be classified as a soulmate. Okay? This is your other half. This is what is meant by the term soulmate, is that I am like the male half, she is the female half of the same soul. So we have, each of us have a polarity of this soul, and when we come together, the soul is complete. It's very incredible. I talk about this process in depth in our book. But what happens when you are with the right person is that things in life just seem to happen much easier, much more effortlessly. Things come into your life, good things, just because the two of you are together. You can tell if you are with the right person because your life will get easier. Whereas if you are with the wrong person, in a relationship with the wrong person, even the simplest of things always seem to be a struggle. Everything is a struggle. It seems like you're constantly trying to swim upstream no matter what you're doing. But when you're with the right person, everything aligns and everything just flows naturally and easily in life. And I think this is the idea, in one regard anyway, of a power couple, is when a couple is formed from soulmates, from two people who are supposed to be together. You have this incredible energy around you. You have this incredible energy for your lives. And it really lends itself to a nice, positive, easy flow to any aspect of your life. And that doesn't mean that there won't still be the occasional external challenge. It's life. We have to have challenges, and it's good for us to have challenges in life. But the idea is most of the things that happen is just easier. Sometimes they just fall into your lap without much effort at all. And this is just one way in which things work when you're with that right person. Another aspect of this is that you have the ability to stay true to yourself. Even though you come together, there is no sense of compromise or sacrifice, and yet both people are fully true and authentic within themselves in the relationship. There are so many things, like types of music that my wife enjoyed long before she knew me, and it wasn't uncommon for her to have friends and family kind of ridicule her or put her down for listening to that type of music. They didn't understand why she would even like that. And so she was a little apprehensive to bring that up in the relationship, but she did. And today we enjoy that music together. I enjoy it every bit as much as she does. And it's incredible to recognize things like this, where if you're with the right person, you don't have to give up the things you enjoy. The other person will naturally and honestly enjoy them as well. I mean, just think about the compatibility here. If one person in the relationship likes a style of music and the other person just can't stand it, you have a conflict. But if the person you're with enjoys the same type of music that you do, then you have harmony. And this goes for everything, not just music. I just pulled that out as an example. What about the things that you eat, the things you drink, the type of art that you enjoy? Everything in your life. When you're with the right person, everything aligns and both of you enjoy everything. And it's this type of relationship that allows us to maintain our sense of authenticity, enjoy and embrace who we are, and have the other person, the person we are with, actually embrace and love those aspects of ourselves. If you are in a relationship where you find things are just always seemingly a struggle, a fight, an uphill battle, or you find yourself at every turn having to compromise or sacrifice, or even they have to compromise and sacrifice because your tastes are so drastically different, your beliefs are so drastically different, the things you enjoy in life are so drastically different. Those circumstances serve as red flags, if you will. They're indicators that are letting you know that maybe this is not that sort of soulmate type relationship. This is why it is so important to be completely open and honest with someone when you first meet them, when you first start to date or form a relationship or believe that a relationship could be forming. You want to be honest with the person, and more importantly, honest with yourself. Okay? You have to be honest with yourself first. Then you can be honest with someone else. And the other person needs to do the same. If you can do this right up front, then you save yourself a lot of wasted time, effort, and energy. And you can find that one person that you are meant to be with. Now, a lot of people think that that in itself is nearly impossible. That's not true. How do we find that one person? We can't search the entire world, looking in every country and county, state, city, town, right? We can't do that. It's too much. And that's not how it's supposed to be done. The key is attraction. You attract the person into your life. And how do you do that? You do that by being authentically yourself. There's something within you, something you're driven to do, or the type of person you're driven to be. And when you fully embrace that and project that into the world, it acts like a beacon. And the other person will intuitively pick up on that. So the things you want to do to have that happen, first, you have to attain a sense of spirituality, a strong, stable sense of spirituality where you have become capable of shutting down the ego to the point of being able to truly open your heart and mind. You have to open your heart and then have a true sense of knowing for who you are, and develop that. Engage in activities that allow you to develop that or to share that with others if you have already attained a high level of it. And the other person will come together, or you will be drawn to them, one of the two. And this is how it works. And this is just my opinion, but that sure is a heck of a lot better than dating. The amount of joy, continuous joy, that you experience when you are in this type of relationship is absolutely astounding. And the sheer joy you have just being near to that person does not fade with time. The joy, the excitement, the passion, the love, the respect, none of those things fade. They only get stronger. So this is another indicator. If you find those things fading, leveling off, that's a red flag. I observe so many people in relationships where it's very utilitarian. One person will take a vacation here, and then another person, the other person will take a vacation somewhere. They don't do things together, and they just kind of come and go and do their own things. And maybe they sit down and share a meal once a week or once a month or whatever, but they're living their separate lives. This is not a healthy romantic relationship. It seems in this type of relationship, there is no joy for being around one another. There is no excitement for being together. When you're with the right person, it doesn't matter. Even at the end of the workday, you come together. There's an electricity in the air. There's just this electrical charge whenever you get close to one another. And that does not diminish. Same with the sense of love, respect, and passion. In so many relationships, there just doesn't seem to be that component anymore. And again, those are all red flags. That should be there. When you are in a relationship with somebody and your life is just filled with love and appreciation and respect and passion and immense joy. That makes for an amazing life. And think about it, if both of you are able to feel that way, how much more powerful, how much more incredible is every single life experience that you share together. So you can imagine when we go on an adventure somewhere, and as one of us expands, the other expands. We are expanding together. In this way, you can't possibly grow apart because you are constantly growing and expanding together. And everyone around you notices. Everyone around you picks up on this. They can see it in our eyes. They can feel it from us. They can see it in our actions. Absolutely. Absolutely. It seems as though once you attract that special person, the one and only person, the other half of yourself, when you attract them or they attract you, however you want to look at it, ideally, I guess we're attracting one another, huh? When the two of you come together from that attraction, you just attract so much more powerfully those powerful things that match the vibration that you are both at. Think about that. You are doubling the power of your vibration. And if that vibration is positive because you are in one of these incredible relationships, then you start attracting some amazing things into your life. On the other hand, if you attract someone into your life and you are not compatible because you are both not at a level of vibration that would be optimal, then you are going to attract problems in life, a life that is a constant struggle, always you against the world and all of these other things that just don't have to be. And this is one of the things my wife tells me that was one of the things I said on like the first or second day that my wife had met me back then. She said, you said something that really hit me. And since then, I've been able to see how true it is. She said, you made a statement that life can be heaven or life can be hell, and the choice is ours. And that is absolutely true. So we can see how a relationship, the right relationship, is pivotal in this. If we're in a wrong relationship, life can be a living hell, a hell on earth. But if we are in the correct relationship, the special soulmate relationship, then your life can be absolute heaven. And of course, whether we choose to live heaven or hell is determined upon our vibration, right? Our ability to control our mind, our ego, our emotions, all of those things, and to hold a high vibration, which requires spiritual practice. So if we are capable of doing that, then we can have this incredible life. I mean, sit back for a moment. Right now, go ahead, as long as you're not driving. Sit back for a moment and close your eyes. Think about this as I say this. Imagine yourself with a person who truly enjoys all of the things that you enjoy most in life, that can benefit as you do from all of the things you enjoy in life. Imagine someone that you were with where you just felt so incredibly overjoyed, your heart just spilling over with love and respect and appreciation and passion every day. Get a vision in your mind for how that might be. What would that look like for you? How would that feel? Can you imagine how it would feel to be with somebody that you knew that you loved unconditionally and they felt the same? That you love every little thing about them and they feel the same? Can you imagine sharing your life with someone like that? What a gift. What an incredible gift that allows us to experience heaven right here on earth. Okay, so make sure and open your eyes or relax or whatever you want to do. Just make sure you use common sense and never close your eyes to reflect on anything if you are driving or doing some other activity that could cause a problem for you, right? Amazing, we have to put little disclaimers like this on things now. But yes, that's where we're at. And believe me, I've been through the wrong relationships, so I can say from experience that there's something very different and incredibly special when you do finally get it right and you are with that one and only special person. When that happens, the power that is unleashed in the universe allows both of you to live a fantasy life. And this is living a fully engaged life times 2. Both of you come together. Both of you are living a fully engaged life so that you are having a fully engaged mutual experience. That is powerful. It's incredibly, incredibly powerful. So for anyone out there who's not currently in a relationship, this could give you some guidance. And for those who are in a relationship, this will let you know if it is the right relationship or not. It's up to you then to decide what you want to do with your life and your relationship. I'm not suggesting anyone do anything other than be honest with yourself. It is completely up to you whether you choose to make dramatic life changes or not, just as I was confronted with that same choice. And remember that spiritual mindfulness practices are about learning how to be 100% honest with ourselves. This can be a very challenging task, but remember, that is at the core. That's why mindfulness is so important to attain before you make any major life choices, and why it is absolutely necessary if you intend to live fully engaged. You must attain the state of mindfulness. And it should be noted that we need to keep in mind, within the mindfulness practices, we are attempting to purify the mind, get rid of the ego. We are trying to overcome sorrow, pain, and grief. We are letting go of all those attachments and negativity so that we might walk the right path to the attainment of peace. This is where we raise our vibration. And through that, we will be able to attain happiness by following this path. And imagine if you could do that with the person that you love more than anything else and anyone else in the entire world. Then your life truly becomes a grand adventure. And I would just like to thank my beautiful bride for having this discussion with me. Just one of many heart-to-heart, spiritually based discussions that we enjoy. And I'd just like to say that I love you beyond measure. I always have, and I always will. Please make sure to visit me at www.expansionmastery.com. You can get your autographed copy of Expansion Mastery there, as well as a lot of other goodies. So check out the website and then do the social media thing. Please share these podcasts, put in some comments, and hit the like, subscribe, all those social media things we have to do these days. We appreciate everybody's efforts. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you for doing that. And I hope that you are finding value in the content that I'm sharing. Together, only together, do we have a chance of helping to continue this spiritual expansion, this consciousness shift for all of humanity. Till next time, my friends, I wish you the very best in your practices and your life. Take care.